Yep. Obviously, the symbology that Fusion provided was a limited subset.
Yeah.
If you're using your own tile generation thing like these guys, what they've done is they've preserved these tiles were actually generated straight out of Smallworld. So they're using exact Smallworld symbology.
Right.
Just, you know.
That's the UbiSense one.
That's the UbiSense one down there, that's right. So you don't have to lose all your symbology. You don't have to just be, you know, working with little flags or place markers or whatever. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Walter.
You mentioned the virtues of a greatly reduced user interface. What about if you really have to go the other way and start customizing? What tools or what approach is there to actually customize the environment?
Well, that's a very good point. There are, and so I've tried to address that in a couple of ways. One is that there are users that do need really sophisticated stuff, like tracing the network and things like that. And if they're sophisticated enough, give them a desktop product. If they're not, give them a you know, the commercial one, the SIAS or the GNet Viewer or something like that, and they can do that sort of stuff. But they will need training. And then the third thing is, if you're going to do customizations, make sure it's still within the spirit. So here we've still got the one-box searching, we've still got familiar navigation controls, and we've got some big buttons to introduce the customizations.
The road network layer allows tracing from to now. Is that exposed for custom layers? Like if you have got your own electricity network in there, can you somehow trace that with Google functionality?
No, the road network layer is, well, the routing, if you like, is done by just giving a from and to, and it sends you back a polyline, essentially. So there's not a whole layer of, like a network like this exposed.
Short sparse.
Yeah, so it's a bit different. Hi, yeah.
Yeah, have you, going the other way to simplify, have you looked at Android GISs and iPhone GISs?
I haven't particularly. A few of the guys in the office, I'm not a big mobile device user, to be honest. I telephone and that's about it. A bit of texting. Certainly that's a really important consideration though, because
you don't have a big screen size, you really need to...
I heard someone refer the other day to the post-PC world. Yeah. And you know, there's more people interact with the internet now on non-PC devices than on PC devices. And that's frightening. That means we've got to rethink entirely the way we produce applications and how we serve functionality. Yeah.
Smaller pixels.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thing.
Which Fusion?
Yep.
You show all the CSV file.
Yep.
Did they actually create a camera file to fit at the time, or they using different techniques?
You mean how do they make the tiles?
When you send back to the client. So.
Oh, they just send back bitmaps, just tiles, just like Google Earth. They take your data and they tile it all up.
But they have like a pop-up information sort of thing.
That's right.
I understand that was in KML file.
No, that's the very clever, and I'm pretty sure the only way they can do it is with an image map. So every time they send down a tile, they say, if you mouse over and click here, call this JavaScript. And if you mouse over and call, it's just...
That is not the KML
yeah.
file.
It's something that I didn't think would actually work well enough, but it does. They've proved it again. Yeah, that's all right. No, it's a good pickup because, yeah, that's right. Previously, to sort of get interactivity like this, you had to put primitives on little local bits of KML or local JavaScript objects on top. But now you've just got tiles with that you can click anywhere on. Yeah, it's quite clever. Yeah. And a word on Google Earth too. People, you know, Google Earth often comes up in these. I didn't put anything about it, but because it wasn't in the title of the talk. But Google Earth is really only useful in one situation, and that's where you need 3D. And the number of business processes that need 3D is really, really small. Very rare. People love that they get seduced by the spinning globe flying down and looking at their house from all different angles and all that sort of stuff. And in terms of real business users, Google Maps can often solve the thing.
I saw a demo where they actually had Street View with your assets in Street View. It's quite nice.
Yeah, well, that's this down here too. Oh, okay. In the 3D side of things, yeah, sure. Yeah. So it's a good visualization tool, but it really doesn't solve a lot of business problems. So, yeah.
Just to clarify on the 3D point, are you referring to 3D databases kind of stuff with the volume inside, or
no?
The visual, what do you refer to 3D as? Well,
Google Earth gives you 3D visualization, and my point is that there's very few times when that is genuinely useful from a business point of view. If you say, oh, but I can see the incidence of something rather by how tall I draw the stack on it or something like that. Well, what's the business problem you're trying to solve there? Well, I'm trying to find the biggest one. Okay, well, let me write you a geoprocessing task that shows that to you in a 2D thing, in a 2D sense. I can represent the same information better and faster and quicker in a 2D sense, solve the business problem in a 2D sense. Occasionally people need line of sight or things like that, but then they don't realise that the terrain model under Google Earth is pretty cruddy anyway, so they shouldn't be. 3D is cool, exactly, and it's very seductive, but and that's a problem. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Just a quick one.
Oh, one more.
What's your opinion on products like ESRI, etc.? They'll be suffering a little bit. I'm going to say because ESRI is now incorporated into Microsoft new web server report generator. So they put themselves out of business or jumped into bed with Microsoft or what?
ESRI sees Google as its biggest competitor. Ross and I were talking about this before. Not Intergraph, not Smallworld, not but actually Google.
So and that's why they're going to Microsoft.
Yep. And ESRI's always been a big Microsoft shop anyway.
Disappear, would that be right? I'm going to say a lot of these mapping companies, which were a mistake, probably going back about 10 years, 20 years ago, that's not anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
So they just disappear. Just bring up a tool.
So I think you'll certainly see the ESRIs of the world survive with the specialist GIS services, the analysis capability, the data management capability, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, continue to fight it out in the presentation layer, the visualization layer.
You don't think Microsoft will fight back? I mean, they've obviously got big maps, and they've got a bit of money.
I wouldn't like to be Jack and trying to bet against that. No. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Any more? No? Great. Thank you all very much.